Turkish Airlines, 7 days, Bwin, and Siesta. Official global sponsors in association with the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague.
The 2013 semifinal between these teams. Olympiacos won both of those on his way to back-to-back titles, but CSKA is here with the EuroLeague's best record this season and some serious hunger for revenge. Good evening, I'm Frank Waller from EuroLeague TV, joined by former EuroLeague champion George Zidek. George, you couldn't ask for a better start to a Final Four. How do you see these teams coming into tonight's game?
Frank, great to be here in Madrid. We've said often over the years that CSKA is loaded, but they might be even more loaded this time. Listen to this impressive list. They have the highest scoring EuroLeague offense in a decade. They've got 2 all-EuroLeague guards in Milos Teodosic and Nando de Colo. They've got the most efficient scorer in EuroLeague history, and that's Sasha Kaun. They've got a one-on-one force in Sonny Weems. And then after their starting season, 15-0, CSKA added one of the greatest players in his generation, and that's Andrei Kirilenko. CSKA, to me, is the definition of having all the weapons, Frank. And the new head coach, Dimitris Itoudis, who was the first assistant in so many Final Four victories by Panathinaikos, he has been able to find proper way how to use those weapons. That's why CSKA is so tough to beat and had the season's best record at 25-3. However, one of those losses was to Olympiacos.
And of course, Olympiacos is their nemesis. How do you see Olympiacos coming into the game?
When it comes to big games, Frank, Olympiacos does not take a backseat to any team. Olympiacos has the EuroLeague's best defense this season thanks to a true team effort led by big men Brian Dunstan, point guard Vangelis Mansaris, and a swing man, Kamel Darden. That defense foundation keeps Olympiacos in every single game. And then they turn to 2 of the best big game players ever. Georgios Printasis decided the title on the last shot against CSKA in 2012 and decided the season playoff series on his final shot too. Vassilis, Spanoulis, I don't think he needs an introduction. He has won 3 EuroLeague titles and was MVP each time. He has never lost in 6 Final Four games. Defense and leadership, that's what gave Olympiacos 2 titles. Anyone who underestimates them, they will get what they deserve.
We're back at the Barclaycard Center in Madrid on a sunny Friday afternoon, getting ready for CSKA versus Olympiacos, tonight's first semifinal in the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague Final Four. After this one finishes, of course, we have home team Real Madrid taking on Fenerbahce Istanbul. Back at the Barclaycard Center in Madrid, Final Four getting started, and Olympiacos Piraeus is being introduced on the court. George, you mentioned some of the difference makers for Olympiacos, but as we learned at this event, team depth means that any number of guys can step up. Who else could do that for the Reds tonight?
Well, as we see the Olympiacos players being introduced, Frank, I have several more guys to throw at you. It's Brent Petway. They can shoot a 3, he can defend both forward spots, and he can just jump through the roof. He's a great athlete. Kostas Lukas and Oliver Lafayette give Olympiacos looks at point guard. Just completely different style of play. Big man Othella Hunter, you saw him on the videos there, is not easily denied when he gets around the rim. Then you got Matt Lojeski, a scrappy guy, and he's capable of lighting it up. And lastly, I just want to mention a young and tough, under-the-radar performer, and that's none other than Yannis Papapetrou. He played some key minutes in the season. Matt Lojeski was the top scorer for Olympiacos in their 2 games against CSKA, so let's watch him what he does tonight. Head coach Dadis Faropoulos surely has a variety of options to choose on his bench. That's clear.
We are looking at that bench and the entire Olympiacos roster being introduced here at Barclaycard Center for tonight's first semifinal tonight. And hopefully we'll get a chance to find out who the starters will be for Olympiacos. But in the meantime, George, let's go back a little bit to the history between these 2 teams.
So much history there, Frank.
As we
Where do you want to start?
Well, we'll start in a second. We're going to see, hopefully, CSKA being introduced. But to talk about the history, 5 Olympiacos players won 2 titles each, beating CSKA on the way to their titles in 2012 and 2013. Several of the players who lost those games are still in CSKA uniforms. I think 13 is the total number of guys on these two teams who have faced each other in the Final Four before. Because Olympiacos won them all, however, is there a psychological advantage for Olympiacos? We'll ask you that as we see the introduction here of the CSKA Moscow players. And you might want to talk a little bit about that guy, Kyle Hines, who is, of course, the one who unites these two teams as a winner with Olympiacos, now trying to do it with Panathinaikos.
And who stays in touch with the people at Olympiacos, players or management? That's a little big man, Kyle Hines. He's a heart and soul player, Frank, and everyone who has anything to do with Olympiacos knows that. They might fear him more than anyone else on CSKA Moscow. Hines can change games without scoring a point, and that's rare. I don't think you can say that about too many players. Helping him in the front court are Andrei Vorontsevich, if we talk about other guys, and Victor Kriapa, the only CSKA players who won the team's last EuroLeague trophy right here in Madrid in 2008, in this very same arena. But they play bigger roles now. They could impact this game a lot. And also, let's not forget about Aaron Jackson, who is one of the best ball hawks in the Final Four. Getting back to Kyle Hines, just watch him closely tonight. He knows what makes Olympiacos tick, and I think his job will be to help CSKA stop his old team and break that spell that Olympiacos has had over his new team at the Final Four.
And as George mentioned, the 2012 championship game in Istanbul, 19 points down with 11 minutes to play. And there we see the hero of that game, Giorgos Printzisis, who made the shot to beat CSKA in the final. Came back the next year and really played a great defensive game in the first semifinal in London to then go on and win the championship as well. So Olympiacos has gone through CSKA twice to get its titles. And now we look at the Olympiacos roster. As far as we know, everybody is healthy. So they have a full complement of players to take against CSKA in this first semifinal tonight. And of course, we've seen them around the hotel. We've seen them pretty relaxed. They skipped their shoot around this morning. So they thought they were ready without doing the shoot around, George.
Well, we spoke about it in the morning, Frank. I think there's a lot of experience here on the court. The players know what it takes to win, and everybody wants to win. Nobody wants to go home with a bitter disappointment of a loss. So I think everybody is ready. Everybody's thankfully healthy. Here we see the roster of CSKA Moscow.
And the news on that roster is Vassilis Fridzin, their shooter, has been out for months with an injury. Got back and practiced enough to make his way onto the Final Four roster. So that's another little boost for CSKA Moscow. They're playing with 3 players who they really didn't have in the middle of the season. Andrei Kirilenko, Victor Kriapa, who was injured, and also now Vassilis Fridzin, who was injured for much of the latter part of the season. So that's got to give them everything they need.
Well, I think the biggest spotlight goes to Kirilenko because he's the best known of the 3 that you just mentioned. And he's a true game changer. He joined CSKA for the last 5 games of the top 16. Here are the referees. I'll let you introduce them.
Yeah, we have Ilya Belosevic of Serbia, Boris Rizic of Ukraine, and Danny Irizuelo of Spain will be the men with the whistles in tonight's Turkish Airlines EuroLeague Game of the Week.
Let's just go back to Kirilenko. He joined the team for the last 5 games of the top 16. He just really got into his rhythm for the last 2 games of the top 16 and was spectacular in the playoffs, if you ask me. He is on and he is ready to win. He's ready to claim this title, Frank, if you ask me.
Well, a lot of people are impressed by how quickly Andrei Kirilenko got up to speed after joining CSKA Moscow mid-season. And when he is up to speed, very difficult player to stop because he doesn't stop moving on the floor. We talk a lot about players moving without the ball on offense. He does it on defense. Obviously doesn't have the ball, but does it. He's everywhere on the court.
He will sacrifice his body for the team. He doesn't need to score also. I mean, his stats are over 10 points per game, but he does so many more things there for the team. So watch out for Andrei Kirilenko. I think he is extremely hungry to claim this title, Frank.
George, let's mention that these 2 teams played during the top 16. There was
not with full rosters. That's
not
the key
with full
word.
Rosters. Olympiacos won at home by about 8 points. Then they went up to Moscow and lost a 6-point game, 76-60. However, Vassilis Spanoulis, their leader, did not play in that game, while Andrei Kirilenko did play that night. but was not as up to speed as we saw him in the playoffs, of course. So the key thing is Kirilenko and Spanoulis are seeing each other's faces on the court for really in a EuroLeague game for the first time since the 2012 final.
Well, but I'm sure that they are so experienced that they have so much respect for each other that, I mean, this is nothing special for them to be facing each other since 2012. I think this is a completely different scenario, Frank. It's difficult to compare with the game in top 16. Here are the starting five for CSKA Moscow.
Milos Teodosic at point guard, Sonny Weems at one wing, Andrei Vorontsevich, Andrei Kirilenko, and Sasha Kaun filling in the other spots on the starting lineup for CSKA Moscow in tonight's first semifinal. And for Olympiacos, it'll be Vassilis Spanoulis, Vangelis Matsaris, Termel Darden, Yorgos Printasis, and Brian Dunstan in the starting lineup tonight for Olympiacos, as we see the one-team Special Olympics partnership being honored right before tip-off of the semifinal with several Special Olympics athletes from here in Madrid, Spain, joining the stars of the EuroLeague Final Four on the court to get some attention for that worthwhile effort. The EuroLeague one-team program, EuroLeague Basketball's Europe-wide program with 32 clubs in 14 countries, honoring and helping disadvantaged people all over the continent. And now, with that gesture towards the Special Olympics children on the court, we get ready for the semifinal tip-off of the first semifinal tonight between CSKA Moscow and Olympiacos Piraeus. Another rematch in a great rivalry they've had in the Final Four during the last 4 years. Here we go. It's tip-off in the 2014 Turkish Airlines EuroLeague Final Four, and it is won by CSKA and Andrei Vorontsevich. They get the ball to Sonny Weems, to Kirilenko. Teodosic out top, guarded by Matsaris. Goes around Dunstan inside to Kaun, and slapped away and stolen by Olympiacos. Vassilis Spanoulis with the good hands.
Quick hands and quick feet there by Vassilis Spanoulis defensively.
Termel Darden on the wing, guarded by Kirilenko, gets it out to Spanoulis. He uses the screen by Dunstan. Swings it all the way around to Matsaris for three. And his shot goes down to get Olympiacos on the board.
I'll tell you what, Frank, I saw a lot of self-confidence and poise on that first offensive position for Olympiacos. Great ball movement and an open shot for Matsaris.
CSKA still looking for its first points. Teodosic gets it to Kirilenko. And he gets fouled by Termel Darden as he makes his move.
And this is the aggressivity of Andrei Kirilenko. He recognized that Darden was a little bit off balance in the defensive position, just immediately attacked him and picked up the foul. These are the small things that Andrei Kirilenko does for you.
CSKA will start again. They get a shot from the corner, and that is Andrei Vorontsevich, who knocks down that shot and makes it a 3-3 ball game. Makes it a 3-3 ball game. Printasis inside at the other end, gets his patented one-hander to go down to keep Olympiacos up.
And that's a tough shot right there, right in traffic, but as you said, it's his patented shot.
It's Teodosic out top, working with Vorontsevich. Now he gets a screen from Kaun. Inside of Vorontsevich, he banks it off the backboard and in.
And he is so effective. I mean, Andrei Vorontsevich, you just see him established early. He's the top rebounder there for CSKA Moscow, but he can also explode for a lot of points.
Another player that kind of is under the radar, but has had a great season. Andrei Vorontsevich has CSKA tied. Their defense has Olympiacos down to 5 on the shot clock. Spanoulis from way downtown, off the back of the rim. It's rebounded by Vorontsevich.
That was a long shot by Spanoulis, but he had to take it as the shot clock was winding down.
Weems to Kirilenko inside the Kaun.
But look at the great passing from Andrei Kirilenko. The ball just didn't get stuck in his hand for a split second. But that was a traveling call there.
The two great defenders for Olympiacos, Brian Dunstan, Termel Darden, really reacted well, sandwiched Kaun, and he committed a turnover.
He needs to be ready to receive that pass from Kirilenko because you know he'll be looking for him.
Vassilis goes back door. It'll be Spanoulis to Dunston, but it's blocked from behind. Looked like it was Vorontsevich got a piece of that. He is really playing well.
And CSKA's got some great defenders around the basket. More importantly, Frank, defenders that never give up on any ball.
So the inside passing for both teams resulted in turnovers. So here comes CSKA the other way, but a chance to take the lead in this game. Inside to Count, gets a shot up, and he's fouled as he takes it by Tremel Darden.
And that was a mismatch right there. Tremel Darden switch. Here's the replay of that good pass, but a great defense. You're right, it was Vorontsevich who came there from the weak side and blocked the shot by Dunston.
So Sasha Count will go to the free throw line for CSKA Moscow. And you have to think that for Olympiacos, they want to not let him dunk as he likes to do inside, put him on the free throw line. Shooting a lot better free throws this year than other years, but still at 66%.
That's just one weakness of game of Sasha Count. That's why he's getting fouled so many times, because the opposing teams feel that they get the best strategy just to put him on the free throw. But he makes 2 free throws here.
And he does just that to put CSKA in front by 2 points. So that foul strategy on Count doesn't work this time. Vassilis to Dunston. A handoff to Spanoulis. Drives, goes cross court to Printis. It's back out to Vassilis. They keep moving the ball. It's Papapetru in the game now who got it on the baseline, but he was denied again by Vorontsevich, who leaves 4 seconds on the shot clock for Olympiacos.
I mean, very active Andrei Vorontsevich early. Again, look at that. From the weak side, he comes there to save the shot.
The inbounds goes to Vassilis. He goes off the backboard but misses, and Kirilenko grabs the rebound. Gets it ahead to Sonny Weems on the fly. Tries for Sasha Count. Pass over his head and out of bounds for another CSKA turnover.
This is what you like to see. If you coach, you do this. Your big man just filling the lane and being the first one down the floor on the fast break. It's a great job by Sasha Count, but that was a tough pass. He couldn't handle that one.
Olympiacos with a chance to stay close or go ahead, tie it up or go ahead. Spanoulis to Papapetru. And a foul called off the ball as Printis comes across the lane and gets elbowed or shouldered by Sasha Count.
That's some tough interior defense there by Vorontsevich, and Count is just not letting any cutter go through the lane without being hit.
Spanoulis goes inside.
And this is why he's the...
And he also gets fouled as well.
This is why he's the best player at drawing fouls. Look at that right here. Oh no, this wasn't on him. That was the shove off there, I think, against Dunston.
Yeah, it certainly was. He pointed at the player inside, the referee did, but the foul was outside before the play continued. Inside, they go for Dunston, but that's good CSKA defense. Count and Kirilenko take the ball away from Olympiacos. It's Teodosic at the top, going behind his back. Inside now to Sasha Count, and again he draws a foul inside. This time on a mismatch with Vangelis Vassilis.
I'll tell you what, Olympiacos, after that great first three-pointer when they moved the ball well, just cannot find an offensive rhythm. And you have to give a lot of praise for CSKA defense. They've been all over the place, just helping each other. This is not just on-the-ball defense.
CSKA on the attack, no-look pass. Kirilenko going baseline and gets fouled by Giannis Papapetru.
Immediately attacking, Frank. You saw that. He got the ball. Look at that right here. And he goes right away. He just attacks Papapetru.
So Andrei Kirilenko will go to the free throw line for a 2-shot foul. He's able to make the first one to extend the CSKA lead. And knocks down the second as well. So you have to think, George, that Olympiacos brought in Papapetru thinking he could deal with the taller Kirilenko at the small forward spot in place of Darden.
Well, he's a young, tough guy who's going to try to rough up Kirilenko a bit.
Spanoulis at the other end gets it to Printis. Crosses over, one-hander up and in by Yorgos Printis.
That's the quickest shooting big man in the EuroLeague. I'll tell you that every time we do an Olympiacos game, it is unbelievable with what kind of speed he can get a shot off.
And again, Kirilenko goes right in against Papapetru. This time the young man takes it away. Here comes Vassilis to Papapetru to finish, and he gets it down. So the young guy has responded for Olympiacos.
That's 4 important points there for Olympiacos, because before the 2 baskets were scored, it was a 9-2 run for CSKA Moscow. So that's good for Olympiacos to get back into this game with 2 quick baskets.
Giannis Papapetru, like I said, under the radar for various reasons, but mostly because he's been injured the last couple seasons and has only played in limited action towards the end of the season. But he's a talent. Spanoulis gets it stolen at the other end. Again, Vassilis making that play.
I think it's a second turnover there by Spanoulis. A little bit sloppy pass. Would you say so, Frank? With one hand, I thought it was in traffic and didn't have much of a chance to go through. This was the shot by Piraeus. It's unbelievable, but he can shoot it with his left. He can shoot it with his right. And that was a great defense on Kirilenko right there.
And right now at the other end, it'll be Sonny Weems going to the free throw line as he was fouled. And Sonny Weems knocks down the first of his 2 free throws to get himself on the scoreboard. But there he goes, can't knock down the second one. So 1 point lead for CSKA. Halfway through the first quarter here in the first semifinal of the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague. Final 4 from Madrid, Spain. Spanoulis to Vassilis. Goes back to Spanoulis. 7 on the shot clock. Goes in the corner to Papapetru. He's going to have to take a shot. Cannot get it off. It does get off in time, but misses the backboard and the rim, so it's a 24-second violation. And a timeout on the floor in Madrid, Spain, with a very close first quarter score, 10-9 in favor of CSKA Moscow against Olympiacos. And just kind of what the doctor ordered, George Zidek. We knew that these teams like to play a lot of defense, and they have each other's measure from having played in the top 16. As we listen in on the timeouts. And there we're listening, of course, to Giannis Veropoulos, the head coach of Olympiacos. And he's talking about having his team concentrate on the screens a little better to loosen up that offense like we saw early, but CSKA tightened up later.
I mean, he's talking about the basics. That's what you usually do when things are not going as well as you wish. Offensively, it's just better bigs, better screens, just set the screen correctly, do better cuts, and then attack in a one-on-one situation. Simple basketball. Though every coach is going to ask you that, Frank.
Nando de Colo on the floor for CSKA Moscow, the only switch in that timeout. He gets the ball to Teodosic, driving. Back passes to Cowan, can't handle it, and Dunston comes up with that loose ball.
That was second time that Sasha Cowan dropped the ball.
Ahead to Papapetru, they pull it out, Olympiacos does, to Vassilis to set up the offense. He's open on the screen by Dunston, kicks it to Papapetru. His three-pointer misses, and a rebound picked up by Vassilis.
That was a good shooting position there for Papapetru. He just couldn't knock the shot down.
Teodosic setting up the CSKA offense. Step back from the three-point line, off the front of the rim, rebound loose, and it's De Colo who comes up with it. Gets it in the corner from Teodosic and knocks down a three-pointer.
That's money. If you leave Nando De Colo wide open like he was right there, he can almost count the shot, and he's been in a very good shooting form lately. It's all about his confidence.
Good recognition by Teodosic. Spanoulis almost loses the ball, gets a fortunate bounce and gets it back. He goes in the corner to Papapetru. To Vassilis, it'll be Spanoulis from deep, off the mark and into the hands of Sasha Cowan.
And it's a great boxing out there by CSKA. Absolutely no chance for Olympiacos to get a second offensive rebound.
13-9 lead CSKA has with possession. Teodosic in the corner again to De Colo. Spanoulis just gets there in time. He's going to back down on Spanoulis. Hands it off to Kirilenko for the slam.
What a great pass right there by Colo. Great patience on that post-up. He saw Kirilenko cutting down to the basket, and an easy lay-in or a slam there for Andrei Kirilenko.
Vassilis sets up the Olympiacos offense. Now they've fallen 6 points behind since that 4 more points since the timeout. It'll be Printis working on Vorontsevich with Kirilenko there to double. Ball swings. It'll be Papapetru on the three-point, on the buzzer with three-pointer. So the young guy, Giannis Papapetru, really keeping the Olympiacos in the hunt right here.
What a shot right there. I mean, he had to shoot. It was like at 0.5 seconds left when the ball was leaving his hand. So tough shot, clutch shot by Giannis Papapetru.
It'll be Teodosic on the wing. Takes it up top, tries to go inside to Kirilenko. Papapetru got his hands on that one.
He's all over the place, Frank. I mean, he is just hustling on defensive. Look at Spanoulis just getting a shoulder right in Nando de Colo.
They were pushing from the time De Colo got on the court. And there you see the De Colo play to, after his own three-pointer, getting it to Kirilenko for the slam that has given CSKA this lead on the inbounds. De Colo. Baseline jumper off the mark into the hands of Lojeski. Matt Lojeski now in the game for Olympiacos. They also have Othello Hunter and Oliver Lafayette all in the game here at the end of the first quarter with 2 minutes left. Foul is called on the pass to Printis by Andrei Kirilenko. Foul by Kirilenko.
Kirilenko was trying to step around Printis, get a hand on that pass, but was called for the foul.
And that's the first foul on Kirilenko. He'll take a seat. And into the games from Manuchar Markoshvili, as well as Kyle Hines now in the game for CSKA. And on the same pass to Printis, now Vorontsevich gets called for a foul.
That's a tough foul for CSKA right there, and I think they're just defenders of CSKA like Kirilenko and Vorontsevich. They're going to have to lay off a little bit with their energy, and they stay behind the defender and the pass is going in. The referees are just really looking for that.
Spanoulis to inbound the ball on a third chance possession here. 14 on the shot clock. Lojeski gets it back to Spanoulis. Gets a screen from Othello Hunter, drives himself, tries to go inside to Hunter. Almost stolen, loose ball. It'll be Oliver Lafayette open for the three-pointer in a tie ball game with 1.5 minutes left in the first quarter.
That's a lucky bounce right there that Olympiacos got, but I think they will take anything in it. Great poise on the shot with Oliver Lafayette in the last seconds of a shot clock.
Aaron Jackson also in the game for CSKA's De Colo out near the top trying to get a pass off. It gets fouled by Oliver Lafayette.
Look at it right here. CSKA almost has the ball, but Lafayette is right there, steps into the shot, and it's a 6-0 run there for Olympiacos at the moment.
They never go away, do they, George?
Never, Frank. If there's a team that defines this, it's Olympiacos for past 3 seasons.
So 15-15 tie now with Nando de Colo going to the free throw line as we see Victor Kriapa enter the game for CSKA Moscow, replacing Andrei Vorontsevich, who's really been their top player so far with 5 points. And Vassilis Spanoulis takes a seat on the bench, replaced by Kostas Slukas.
That's a great option also with Slukas. I love to watch Kostas Slukas play. He's so aggressive and so self-confident coming in the game after Spanoulis. He also will get some minutes with him. But when he gets in there, it just also changes a lot of things here for Olympiacos.
Nando de Colo makes the first free throw and the second, one of the top free throw shooters in the EuroLeague this season. And he puts CSKA back in front, I should say. They haven't trailed since very early in the game. CSKA moves the ball, or Olympiacos moves the ball to Printis, drives on in and makes that shot, ties it up again. So a lot of ties here in this first quarter with 1 minute left. Aaron Jackson on the floor with the ball now for CSKA. He makes his move to the rim, and he finishes. It's a big city move there by Aaron Jackson.
And that's a bonus that you get from Aaron Jackson because he's most known for his defense on the ball. We call him one of the best ball hawks in the game.
It'll be Kostas Slukas at the other end, gets it to Printesis, fakes the three, and drives on Griapa, gets it back to Slukas, and inside it goes to Hunter, but that's taken away by the CSKA defense. Here comes Jackson the other way. 20 seconds left. They're going to hold for the last shot in the first quarter.
That was a good recognition by Jackson. That was not a fast break. He pulls it out, tries to sit out for almost the last shot in the quarter.
They want to stretch this lead down in the last seconds. Jackson makes his move, goes inside, and is met there by Othello Hunter, drawing the foul and getting to the free throw line with a chance to put CSKA even further up after well, with still time left for Olympiacos to make a play here at the end of the first quarter.
It's almost 5 seconds. 5 seconds. I wonder if Vassilis Spanoulis is going to come to the game. It doesn't look like it. He sits on the bench.
Aaron Jackson, a very good free throw shooter at 80%. But he can't hit the first one. So no more than a 3-point lead unless there's an offensive rebound now by CSKA. Let's see what happens. Jackson does make it a 3-point lead, 20-17. Here comes Olympiacos. Time running out, 2 seconds left. Ball knocked away by Jackson, and that marks the end of the first quarter with CSKA Moscow holding on to a 20-17 lead after 10 hard-fought minutes in which they were up by as many as 6. And were tied late in the first quarter, but came back to, in fact, retain their lead of 20-17 after 10 minutes in the first semifinal.
Turkish Airlines, Spalding, Intersport, Turkey Home. Official global sponsors of the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague.
We're back to the Barclaycard Center in Madrid, Spain. It's the first night of the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague Final Four, the semifinal between CSKA Moscow and Olympiacos. First up tonight, and CSKA leads at 20-17 after one quarter. We're seeing a little bit of why they're leading with the defense by CSKA, especially inside, as you saw Andre Vorontsevich stop a couple plays with blocks and a couple tip-aways as well. When it came to getting near the rim, Olympiacos had problems because of the good defense by CSKA. They stayed in it with a few three-pointers. And there you see once again the difficulties that the big men on Olympiacos had in that first quarter getting anything clean around the basket.
That's true, Frank. And I was looking at the stats, and I'm looking at 4 turnovers on each side. It's a little bit of a higher number that I would expect from a team as experienced as Olympiacos and CSKA. Let's see if they improve in this category.
Here comes Olympiacos with the first possession of the second quarter. Oliver Lafayette out top to Slukas. He's looking for somebody to pass to, finally gets it to Matt Lejeski. And after chasing him around the court, Manuchar and Markoshvili
what a tough defense,
gets called for the foul against Lejeski.
Look at that right here. I mean, he is chasing him. He's trying to get over that screen by Printesis. And just a physical defense there by CSKA Moscow. They seem extremely motivated to make a defensive statement today.
Olympiacos with a second chance on this possession. Slukas on the wing. And to Lejeski, looking inside for Hunter, but great defense there. Ball knocked out of bounds. Let's see what the call is, but that was great defense on the big man by Nando de Colo.
You saw how Nando de Colo was just sliding his feet towards the baseline and just completely cut off the penetration. That's a great team defense.
Olympiacos inbounds. They get it to Hunter. He's got to take the shot. Not his shot, almost makes it, but out it goes. And apparently
he didn't shoot it in time.
Was released after the 24 seconds had expired, so would not have counted anyway. And again, the CSKA defense holds. You're right, George. They're known for being the best offense in 10 years in the EuroLeague, but they're putting on a good defensive show so far in this game. De Colo gets loose down the middle and finishes.
Wow.
So a couple layups we've seen against the Olympiacos defense, which was the best one in the EuroLeague this season. they're missing some assignments, maybe.
That was a gutsy penetration right there because Colo immediately recognized there was a small path to the basket and he exploited that.
Lucas loses the ball. It's stolen by Jackson, who gets on the run and gets fouled from behind.
I'll tell you what, it's all about defense of CSKA Moscow. And one stat that's just striking right now is that Olympiacos have not shot a free throw so far, Frank.
And they're not a bad team at getting to the free throw line. Of course, Spanoulis is normally one of the top. I think he's ranked third this season in free throw attempts. And nothing doing in terms of drawing fouls on CSKA on the part of Olympiacos. It'll be CSKA working on a 5-point lead. Their biggest lead until now was 6. So they have a chance to reestablish that or go higher as Jackson gets in the paint, turns with a one-hander and puts it down a la Piraeus, but this time Aaron Jackson with that shot.
Aaron Jackson is just providing a big-time contribution off the bench. He started with the drive and now makes a turnaround jumper. What a great job in addition by Aaron Jackson. Look at that one more time. He drives, he's smooth. Nice fake right there with the ball, with the body. Comes back, completely fakes out Oliver Lafayette. Great move.
Excellent footwork by Aaron Jackson to give CSKA Moscow their biggest lead in this first semifinal, 24-17 early in the second quarter. They had led by 6 midway through the first quarter, and Olympiacos was able to take it back. Let's listen to the timeout. We're listening to the timeout of CSKA Moscow now.
Nando on that. Yes, ball guy. Nando is going to be over here. You pass to Nando and you go here. Manu is at the weak side. So the pick and roll.
Now we saw head coach Dimitris Atudis of CSKA anticipating moves that Olympiacos might make. He was looking for perhaps Spanoulis and Piraeus to come in. Neither one have at this moment, but we do see Brent Petway in the game and Giannis Papapetrou back in the game. And they'll be playing low alongside Othello Hunter. So let's see what Olympiacos can do out of this timeout, down 7. It'll be Oliver Lafayette getting the ball to Lejeski, using the screen by Hunter. Papapetrou goes cross court to Petway. He drills a three-pointer.
What an entry to the game by Brent Petway. We said that he can spot up and shoot a 3 on a set offense. 24-20.
He gets Olympiacos back within 4, just what they needed. A little help off the bench. Colo from the top of the key misses the shot. The rebound's batted around and picked up by Brent Petway. He's fouled from behind by Manuchar Markoshvili.
You see that he just spots up on the weak side. He doesn't look for anything fancy, but he knows how to stretch the defense. He does know that, Frank. He does that very well.
Markoshvili with his second foul. Petway, who hit some big shots in the playoff series win over Barcelona, comes out and hits his first one in his first Final Four, but he's holding his ribs after he was run into by Markoshvili on that foul. We'll see if he's okay to keep shooting. Meanwhile, it's Lafayette working off the screen by Hunter, gets it to Lejeski. To Papapetrou, inside to Hunter, goes up again. The interior defense of CSKA just shuts him down.
And Othello Hunter, he just usually finishes if he gets it this deep, and he didn't have a chance. He was surrounded by 3 CSKA defenders.
Jackson to Hines. Hines takes a short jumper off the mark, and Petway chases down the rebound. Here comes Lafayette the other way. He's surrounded by defenders. And gets fouled on the side, looks like by Kyle Hines.
Look at the situation right here. Othello Hunter just extremely deep, right around the basket. And it's Hines, Kirilenko, and Kriapa, Frank. How does that sound? How do you shoot the ball between these 3 defenders? That's almost mission impossible if you ask me.
Looks like Kriapa got a piece of that. There's been 3, 4, 5 blocks down there. Now it's going to be Olympiacos trying to come back. It's Papapetrou on the drive, and he finishes. Giannis Papapetrou making a name for himself here in the first half.
That's a big-time veteran move because he was almost open for a 3-pointer. I thought he was going to take it, but he took a drive and finished it.
Giannis Papapetrou is now the co-top scorer in this game. Ball goes inside and stolen by Papapetrou. Kyle Hines fouls him from behind. Let's talk about this guy, George, because he came over to Olympiacos last year, ended up injured for much of the season, played sparingly towards the end, but of course they didn't make the Final Four last year. Almost an exact repeat this season, didn't play until the top 16, and little by little started getting a bigger role. He can shoot, he's got toughness, and he, like you said, he plays beyond his years, but he has really helped them. We thought he might be in there against Kirilenko, and now he's the top scorer for them in this game. Lojeski's going to try from deep. Off the mark, Papapetrou takes the rebound. This kid has come to play.
He is just everywhere. I mean, defensively, offensively, but not making any rush decisions, Frank. I mean, for a guy of his age, it is unbelievable what kind of poise he's showing in a semifinal game.
So Olympiacos has taken 5 points off the 7-point lead by CSKA with a 5-0 run after the timeout at 24-17, and now they have a chance to tie or go ahead. And the unsung new hero for them, Giannis Papapetrou, is making all the difference. Now it's Spanoulis back in the game, trapped in the corner, tries to get the ball through to Hunter, but stolen by Jackson, who's on the run, and the fast break stopped by Papapetrou. Good trap in the corner by CSKA.
That was a great trap by CSKA. It's a third turnover there by Vassilis. Spanoulis. He is not in his rhythm tonight so far.
So far, that's the qualifier, 0 points. And they had a picture of Vassilis Spanoulis' wife watching the action. 0 points and 3 turnovers so far, but of course, we've seen him win games almost single-handedly in the second half, so that doesn't mean anything right now. Sasha Cowan backing down on Dunston. He's back in the game, both of them. Cowan misses, but Dunston gets called for fouling him on that shot. So,
and Sasha was showing some strength when he was backing in Dunston. Look at it right here. It is not easy to back in Brian Dunston, but he managed, was fouled in the shot. Let's see if he can duplicate the first 2 free throws, because he made his first 2 attempts. Sasha Cowan shooting just around 60% for the season and career. 3 for 3, Frank. Is that a commentator's jinx?
3 for 3 it is after that free throw goes down by Sasha Cowan. And it will be a commentator's jinx if he misses this one. Maybe we're jinxing them opposite. He misses, but look at the hustle for the rebound by Vassilis. Looks like he stepped on the end line, and the ball will go to Olympiacos. But good hustle by Vassilis. A lot, if not all, 4 of the starters for CSKA back in the game. Spanoulis, Vassilis back in the game, and Dunston. So 3 of the Olympic starters back in the game. Dunston handles the ball out top, gets it to Spanoulis, fakes the 3-pointer, swings to Vassilis for 3, off the back of the rim, rebound, tip from Cowan to Vassilis, but he can't save it. So the new 24 shot clock for Olympiacos. Spanoulis driving and blocked by Sasha Cowan, but a foul on the play will send Vassilis Spanoulis to the free throw line. And if he can get his first points there, that'll be psychological boost for Olympiacos.
That's what I was just going to say, Frank. This could be an important moment, not only for Vassilis Spanoulis, but for the whole Olympiacos team. He needs to get in his rhythm, and this is a great chance for him if he knocks down these 2 free throws right here. That was a mismatch. He immediately recognized it when he had the switch by Sasha Cowan. He used his speed, drew the foul, and now he's at the free throw line. He makes the first one.
Spanoulis on the scoreboard, and you have to think he'll be there for the rest of the night, and certainly if he has a chance to make the difference with shots near the end, which is one of his specialties. He makes both free throws. He has Olympiacos back within 1, so they have now made up all of 1 6-point deficit, and they're close to making up a 7-point deficit. Vassilis left open for 3, off the mark, and Olympiacos will get that chance as Spanoulis comes the other way. Makes his move on Jackson, gets inside, stopped by Cowan. Rebound ahead to Jackson, and he turns it into a layup. Good defense again by CSKA inside.
Great defense and easy basket on the other side. I think if you coach Adidas, you just gotta be loving that. That was a reward for playing hard defense. Easy basket on the other side.
A great turnaround, what could have been losing the lead. As Papapetru turns inside and puts it down. Giannis Papapetru over Andrei Kirilenko.
Frank, you spoke about him in the hotel in the morning.
Steal on the other end by Spanoulis. He comes the other way now. Olympiacos has a chance to tie or go ahead. Papapetru gets it back to Spanoulis. Gets in the lane. And another block, but this time Dunston picks it up, puts it down, and puts Olympiacos in front.
But not an easy shot, though, Frank, for Brian Dunston. He was again surrounded by defenders of CSKA Moscow and just somehow managed to squeeze that off-balance shot through.
Teodosic splits the defenders and goes inside, kicks it out to Vorontsevich. And a foul as Vorontsevich made his move, it looks like. Olympiacos has made up all of two rather big CSKA leads already. 6 points in the first half and now 7 points in the second half to take their second lead of the game after Angelis Mansares had made the three-pointer that started the scoring after tip-off. CSKA will start again their offense. Sonny Weems back in, stops and pops from the free throw line. Put CSKA back in front.
That's money, and his patent move right there. If he gets on the move, he pushed off Mansares. There was no chance for the defender to get back into the play and challenge the shot by Weems.
Back and forth scoreboard. Mansares is going to drive. He misses inside, challenged by De Colo. And here comes Teodosic the other way.
Again, a big play there by De Colo defensively because he is such a tall guard.
Sonny Weems goes inside to Vorontsevich, misses, rebound tipped away by Dunston. It will remain CSKA Moscow possession.
CSKA, I mean, you just have to respect their defense. They are not giving up on anything. This was a nice cut by Andrei Vorontsevich. He had a good look at the basket, was close in, but just missed the shot.
And Giannis Papapetru takes a seat after some fantastic work by him. He's replaced by Printezis. Lejeski on Weems. And the pass inside goes cross court to De Colo for three. Off the mark, Sasha Kaun with the offensive rebound. Inside to De Colo. He dribbles out, but then comes back along the baseline. A reverse off the mark. And the rebound finally falls to Olympiacos.
That was an acrobatic shot right there by De Colo.
Cross court to Lejeski, inside to Printezis. Rolls around and falls down. Patented Yorgos Printezis.
Absolutely ridiculous, Frank. I mean, how quickly did he take that shot? Cutting on the baseline, he made a turnaround with the left hand.
The ball barely seems to touch his hands before it goes up and in most of the time. He's got Olympiacos back in front. CSKA gets the ball to Weems, drives baseline, all the way in. Power move by Sonny Weems.
That's why they call him Sonny Money Weems right there. That's instant offense. You give him a space, he's going to immediately exploit that situation. One-on-one, that's his specialty.
Back and forth scoreboard here at the end of the first half of the first semifinal. Spanoulis trying to get it back for Olympiacos, but he's off the mark from deep.
He had a good look at the basket.
Weems gets it to Teodosic. Gets a screen from Kaun, goes in the corner to De Colo. They're looking for Kaun inside, defended by Dunston.
It's a foul on Dunston.
The foul's going to be called on Brian Dunston as he backed away and Kaun hit the floor. Here we see it again.
That was a hand around the body. I think that's what the referees called. So
That's
Brian
what the referee saw. He was trying to use the old, what they call it, move the chair play.
Yep. Rick Mahorn.
Take the chair out from under Kaun, but instead there's a foul called on Bryant Dunston, and that puts Sasha Kaun back on the free throw line. As we look at the foul situation.
And look at Sasha, that's 5 out of
6 so far.
No, 4 out of 5.
4 out of 5
yeah.
so far. He's getting his 6th opportunity right now, but considering his career-long difficulties from the free throw line, make it 5 out of 6. He's really giving them a boost at the foul line. And as you mentioned, Georgie, that's while Olympiacos has only had 2 shots at the foul line themselves, 2 for 2 by Spanoulis. Here's now 11 for 14 at the foul line, CSKA. That is becoming a factor. It is a factor in this game.
That's a huge difference between the two teams, and I think that Olympiacos is really going to have to work on that to get more to the free throw line.
Spanoulis on the wing goes inside to Othello Hunter. He turns, and the shot is blocked by Kriapa. Skying for that one.
He just came from nowhere from the weak side. Great team defense again by CSKA Moscow.
And a mistake at the other end by Teodosic. The ball goes out of bounds, and it's a turnover.
Look at that right here.
Kriapa.
Whoa! I mean, did he just go up and get that, Frank?
There's another player who's been injured most of the season, but came back recently for Kriapa. Let's remember, he was our best defensive player in the EuroLeague back in 2010 or 11, so he's won an award for his defense, and there we saw why. Spanoulis takes it across half court as Olympiacos still with under 2 minutes left, within 1 shot of tying this game. Still on the dribble with 7 on the shot clock. Spanoulis goes on Vorontsevich, and the ball goes out of bounds. Looks like it was blocked by Vorontsevich.
Look at that. Look at the great defense, individual defense by Andrei Vorontsevich. Again, Victor Kriapa comes from the back and just slaps it away.
I think we're up to 6 blocked shots now for CSKA. 2.1. Printesses from Scoot. The 3-pointer ties it up. The same 2 who connected on the 3-pointer that got Olympiacos to the Final Four. Made great eye contact and made the most out of 2.1 seconds on the shot clock.
Look at that again, Frank. I mean, this is why you call him Mr. Clutch Shot. Unbelievable how he does it. Again and again and again. That's Georgios Printesses for you right here.
And the same exact spot in which his shot beat Barcelona and put Olympiacos in this Final Four. That's why I say you can never count these guys out, George. And we'll look at the flashback of that great 2012 last 10 seconds championship game missed by Ziskauskas. Spanoulis inside to Printesses for the game winner. It's exciting to see it even 3 years later.
You are excited now, Frank. I caught you.
Here's the one from the playoffs. Again, it's high ball game. Spanoulis to Slukas to Printesses. A one-hander inside, a 3-pointer outside. Just give him the ball when time's running out and it matters.
That's right. Just give him the ball, Frank. That's the mantra.
You will go up with late play. After that, hey, offense, we go Moscow on offense, Moscow.
And as much as we talked about the CSKA defense, George, in the first 12 or so minutes of this game, while they were building leads of 6 and 7 points, we're now with 1:30 left to play in the first half. And CSKA Moscow's on 33 points. That is evidence of the Olympiacos defense. CSKA averages in the mid-80s, 88 points almost. So Olympiacos is doing its job as well. Teodosic from deep, in and out, rebounded by Lejeski. Olympiacos with a chance to go ahead. Lejeski on the run, inside, dumped in by Othello Hunter to put Olympiacos back in front.
Look at Othello Hunter just following up and just making sure the drive by Lejeski goes in. Great job by Hunter. He picks up a lot of scrappy points. That's the zone defense there by Olympiacos. Let's see what CSKA does.
They pass it around, get it to Kriapa. He's driving on Othello Hunter. There's a foul called before the shot on Othello Hunter. As we see the replay, Lejeski looks like he caught the CSKA defense sleeping, missed the shot, but there was Hunter.
Yeah, but that's aggressiveness. I mean, we've seen it so many times in this season or the season before. Matt Lejeski, when he gets open court, I think he always tries to finish, Frank. He tries to go hard to the basket.
But you think that's something that CSKA would know? You didn't see their transition defense, not for the first shot, but also not for the rebound. But in this case, it's Victor Kriapa with a chance to tie it up again with 1 minute left in the first half. He knocks down the first free throw, as we see Andrei Kirilenko waiting to get in the game, and Kriapa does just that, making 2 free throws and forging a tie.
That's a big lineup there for CSKA right now. You got Kirilenko, Kriapa, Vorontsevich. as the three big men, Weems and Nando. That's an extremely tall lineup that CSKA's got.
Demetrius Vassilis in the game now for the first time for Olympiacos. As Lucas has the ball out top. Vassilis, an aggressive big man. They get it to Spanoulis. He has Kirilenko in front of him. Again, CSKA switches. It's 4-on-7. Step back three by Spanoulis off the front of the rim. Lojeski pulls the offensive rebound. So another chance with 10 on the shot clock for Olympiacos. Again, Spanoulis will shoot it. Again, he misses. This time, Kirilenko cleans up the board.
And again, it was Vorontsevich playing the great defense on Spanoulis, and Spanoulis just cannot find his mark. He's 0 for 8, Frank, at the moment.
15 seconds left. Should be last possession. Pass inside to Kirilenko. He is fouled. Let's see if it's Yorgos Printezis or Spanoulis who's in there and trying to defend as well. Or, I'm sorry, Lojeski. But it looks like the foul will be on Yorgos Printezis, putting Kirilenko on the free throw line with a chance to put CSKA back in front. 13.6 seconds left in the first half. First free throw doesn't go down, so the best he can do is put him up by 1 with the second free throw. Kirilenko only a 68% free throw shooter, but he gets the second one to drop. And it's a 36-35 advantage for CSKA. Timeout on the floor. 13.6 seconds left before halftime in the first semifinal of the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague Final Four, first semifinal. Let's listen to the coaches in the timeout.
For some of the bigs, then we're doing same, we're switching. But be careful the drives, be careful the drives. Also the bigs away of the ball, not only the screeners. We're switching the bigs also away. Just a second, I want to see the lineup. I want to see the lineup. Get out. Normal, Jack, stay.
Olympiacos has come back several times in this game, as we see the early three-pointer by Vassilis and early shots by Printezis. Now with 13 seconds left, they have a chance to take the lead, which would be yet another switch on the scoreboard. Spanoulis stopped by Weems, gets the ball to Lojeski driving in. Lojeski off the backboard, misses on the buzzer, and instead of Olympiacos getting a psychological boost here at the end of the first half, and CSKA clinging to a 36-35 halftime lead.
Turkish Airlines. 7 days. Bwin. And Siesta. Official global sponsors in association with the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague.
Coach, it's been a hard-fought game this first half. You guys held a leading scoring team in the EuroLeague. Their offense has been great. How do you see that? Are you happy with the pace of the game so far?
For sure, we need to show same patience for the second half, to fight for every ball, and we need to be a little more concentrated to some aspects of the game, because we give up some easy layups 2-3 times, easy baskets, and on offense 2-3 times we keep the ball too much in our hands. We didn't move the ball. We are doing good, but we need to improve a little in these parts of the game, and I think second half we will go better.
What is it going to take? You guys have come back a couple times you guys have been down in the score. You've come back, you've taken the lead, you've given it back. What is it going to take in the second half? How important is Spanoulis? How important are the rest of the guys? What will it take?
We play all together. We are a team. For sure, Spanoulis is our leader, but we need to show team game defensively and offensively. Even if they are up, we keep fighting, and we will see what will happen at the end.
Great. Thank you very much. Good luck to you.
There we heard from Yannis Sfairopoulos, head coach of Olympiacos Piraeus. And looks like we will hear right away as well from Dimitris Itoudis, the head coach of CSKA Moscow, on his thoughts on the first half and what to expect in the second half of the semifinal, with his team up by 1 point, 36-35 over Olympiacos here at halftime of the first semifinal at the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague Final Four.
Hard-fought game. What is your assessment of this first half?
Actually, we tried. We controlled the tempo in the beginning. We had everything what we wanted on the court, but Olympiacos came back with with all the respect on their defense, with our lack of concentration, some easy turnovers, which they were punished immediately on the transition game, and they took over also at one point at that moment. We've seen a lot of strategies, small play, big play, switches, and a lot of things. But we gotta try to keep the pace and not turn over the ball.
What are you most pleased about with this performance in the first half? What pleases you the most about your team?
The 1 point about.
That's all you need to win this game. What do you need going forward?
We need to play better, offensively and defensively, definitely.
Okay. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Turkish Airlines, Spalding, Intersport, Turkey Home. Official global sponsors of the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague.
We're getting set for second half action in the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague first semifinal. As we heard from our coaches, CSKA Moscow up 1 point, 36-35. And one word I noticed that jumped out at me when Giannis Piraeus was speaking at halftime, as we get a look at Spanoulis, who's been held to 2 points and has taken his share of shots. Looks to me like he's 0 for 8 from the field and only has 2 points on free throws, and we're seeing why when it comes to the CSKA defense. But George Spanoulis used the word that applies to this situation with Spanoulis: patience. He's preached it a little bit coming here, and he said it again today. He wants his team to be patient, and then the patience will be rewarded. And certainly they're in a position that if they have patience, they could win this game.
Well, they're going to have to be patient, Fred, because as you said, I mean, CSKA is playing a great defensive game, and only patience can help you, because if you're going to push it, CSKA is just going to dominate you defensively. So it is a question of just allowing the game to come to you. This is the key for Vassilis Spanoulis. I know he's got plenty of experience to do just that.
And of course, they have been in this position before. You got to wonder if their fans might want them to be down a little more, because it seems like when they're down by more points, they always make a comeback. But right now, they're only down by 1 to CSKA at halftime. Talk about CSKA. They got 5 points out of Kirilenko, but he's not been the dominant force that we've seen, at least in this first half, that we've seen during the playoffs. He's doing a lot.
But I think everybody is, Frank. I mean, there's nobody just standing out statistically besides Printes, who's got 11 points. So it's been extremely difficult to be a main factor offensively for anybody, even for Andrei Kirilenko with all his experience, all his mobility, and all his crafty moves that he can do. And you are correct. I agree with you. He was a major factor against Panathinaikos in the playoff series.
Team basketball is what the EuroLeague is all about. And that means that any of the 10, 11, even 12 guys could, in fact, as you see what we talked about a little earlier, Milos Teodosic averaging 15 points as the top scorer for CSKA this season at 0. He's only taken a couple shots, though.
And he stays on the bench. I mean, this is the difference in the lineup there for CSKA Moscow for the second half. And Aaron Jackson's going to get a start instead of Teodosic. So that's an interesting mix-up there. And I think that Aaron Jackson, with his defense and the 2 shots that he made, has earned a spot in the starting lineup in the second half, if you ask me.
Jackson, the only player to start second half, and didn't start the first for either team. Ball goes to Spanoulis, drives inside, kicks to Printes, fakes, backs down on Vorontsevich. Off the backboard, misses, rebound loose, and Printes comes up with it. But he tries to pass it outside, and Jackson bothered that pass, and a turnover by Printes.
That was a quick pass out there by Printes. He said, I don't know if he just lost the handle on the ball, but I thought he was in the clear there.
But instead, it'll be CSKA Moscow ball inbounded from half court where the ball went out of bounds. Jackson out top against Vassilis, gets it to Sonny Weems, guarded by Spanoulis. Weems gets it back, gets a screen from Count, gets it into Count, cross court to Jackson. He'll take it. He will take it, but he stepped on the sideline, making it a turnover for CSKA.
And this is a dangerous spot there for the players. They just really have to watch their feet, because there's only very limited amount of space there between the 3-point line and out of bounds.
Vassilis takes it across half court with CSKA having a chance to, Olympiacos' chance to take the lead. Darden gets his pass swiped by Aaron Jackson. On the run, finishes again. So defense into offense again for Aaron Jackson.
And Jackson has been a great factor there for CSKA Moscow. He's been a very pleasant surprise there for Coach Ituris to come off the bench, score, and play defense.
Brian Dunstan out top handling the ball, gets it finally to Spanoulis, who's shadowed by Weems. The ball swings to Mansadas, three-point try by him off the mark, and Kirilenko rips the rebound.
But look at the defense of CSKA, Frank. I mean, they are just all over the place.
Lob inside to Sasha Count, puts it down. Jackson with the big look there, long lob inside. Saw the mismatch with Spanoulis on Count, and he has CSKA up by 5. Mansadas going inside, gets fouled by Jackson, who thinks it should not have been a shooting foul, but apparently it will be. Here you see the lob by Jackson inside the count. Great recognition of the mismatch.
Simple basketball. Why do you need to run any plays? If you see a mismatch, just immediately go to that. And Sasha Count just takes his time and finishes it over. Spanoulis.
Here you see Mansadas fouled by Jackson, but Jackson thought he got him while he was still on the ground. The ref said Mansadas was in the shooting motion, so Mansadas at the free throw line makes the first of 2. And he knocks down the second as well, keeping it at a 3-point difference for CSKA. As we see Oliver Lafayette come in the game, as well as Giannis Papapetrou. And they replaced Mansadas and Darden. Look at Papapetrou, almost steals it, but Kirilenko gets it back to Sasha Count on the floor with Dunstan. And it's going to be a jump ball between those two, but the young man, Papapetrou, is still causing difficulties.
Look at that right
see here. Ball went between Papapetrou's legs on the way back. That's how Kirilenko got a hold of it.
That was a veteran move there by Andrei Kirilenko. But still a lot of intensity, Frank. You have to agree with me that both teams are extremely focused there defensively.
Absolutely. We have a jump ball here. And it's Oliver Lafayette who picks it up, so it will be a turnover on CSKA. They go right inside to Prentices, but his pass to Dunstan, intercepted by Sonny Weems, was really in the line of the pass before Dunstan was. So the turnovers reciprocated at the other end. Jackson with the ball, probing the lane, gets it to Weems for his spot-up jumper. That's off the mark, and Prentices comes up with the rebound for Olympiacos.
That was a good box out and clear out there by Olympiacos, and Prentices gets the board.
Ball inside, knocked loose from Prentices.
There's nothing easy there for Olympiacos around the basket. If they get close to the basket, they are just immediately swarmed by the defenders of CSKA Moscow. Just active hands and feet. Look at that right here. I mean, just immediate double team, Frank. And there's a Kirilenko even coming for the triple team.
That's a foul from behind by Vorontsevich. So it will be Olympiacos' ball. They take it out and get it handed off to Spanoulis. Goes away from the screen, pops his jump shot from the elbow, misses. And Dunstan with the rebound, offensive rebound, foul by Kirilenko. They're really holding steady on their own rebounds.
That's number 8 there for Olympiacos, and that's a big factor because overall it's 19-16 on the boards. Here's Dunstan getting that offensive rebound, but already got 8 for Olympiacos. It's 8 second chance shots there for the Greek team.
And now Olympiacos will inbound. They're trying to inbound to take the second chance. But the referee said something to Spanoulis. I guess he must be cut or bleeding.
And he's not a happy camper. You saw that after the last shot that he missed. It was 0 for 9. He just really showed a lot of frustration because he had a good look at the basket.
Looks like he was just replaced by Kostas Lukas. Walks off the floor while the inbounds takes place, and Papapetrou has his, there is a cut.
Yep.
That's why he came off the floor. The referees ordered that substitution. And they will get Spanoulis back surely after he stops the bleeding. It's going to be Prentices again from deep off the mark. Dunstan inside with another offensive rebound. Gets fouled from behind by Kirilenko.
That could be his number 4. Yep.
Let's see who the foul's called on, and if that is indeed. Sorry, it's a second foul by Kirilenko.
If there's something that CSKA just really got to focus on from now on, it's going to be just boxing out. I think it has to do with the aggressiveness. The big men are just really showing up on the ball. They are all over the place, and they just don't have enough time to get back to box out properly.
They are definitely going after the shooters.
Yep.
And that, of course, puts them a little bit out of rebounding position, which Dunston, by and large, is taking advantage of. He's got 3 offensive rebounds himself. He knocks down both free throws as well. Now we're back to a 1-point game.
And then also, Frank, you got the quickness of Prentices. I mean, he can get a lot of balls that just bounce around. So you just have to focus if you got these 2 guys there in the game.
Boran Savage out top gets the ball to Sonny Weems for CSKA. They're looking at the mismatch inside. Kirilenko was guarded by Papapetru. But Weems takes it, kicks to the corner, out to Boran Savage. He's trying to get a shot off before the 24-second clock, just makes it, and the offensive rebound goes to CSKA. They finally get the ball inside to Kirilenko, and Papapetru turns, goes off the backboard, misses, and a rebound by Sasha Kaun. Fouled before he takes a shot, a putback attempt.
And not a bad defense there by Papapetru. This was a situation before. Look at that right here.
The defenders all in the right places, but Sasha Kaun just reaches over Dunston and gets an offensive rebound. Which gives a second chance to CSKA on this possession.
Extremely long arms of Sasha Kaun. It's a 3rd foul on Brian Dunston.
Nando de Colo back in the game for CSKA. Was see Otello Hunter in replacing Dunston for Olympiacos. De Colo open, left open, and knocks it right down. They have to learn you can't do that to the second team all EuroLeague shooter.
And that's a first double-digit score there for CSKA Moscow, up to 10 points, Nando de Colo.
10 points off the bench in little more than 11 minutes. And he has a 4-point lead in the hands of CSKA. They really have not given up the lead. They steal the ball, get it ahead to De Colo for a breakaway layup. So 45-39, again a 6-point lead for CSKA, and exactly
But give credit to that guy right there, Aaron Jackson. It's the second time he got deflection on the pass around the half court. And what happens? That translates into 2 points for CSKA Moscow. Look at it right here. Gets the steal, back to De Colo, 2 points.
And 2 easy points, which is what Olympiacos head coach Yanis Spyropoulos mentioned at halftime as being what this team has to stop if they're going to win this game.
Take care of the ball, Frank. This is what we're speaking about, because Olympiacos is up to 12 turnovers. That's just way too much for a team that is as experienced as Olympiacos and that is playing for so much like they are playing today for the final game in EuroLeague.
That's 4 turnovers in the first 4 minutes of the second half by Olympiacos, and that is why they're down by 6 again. They've been able to come back from deficits of 6 and 7 points in the first half, but you can't keep doing that. Even the great Olympiacos can't keep giving them up. We come back to live action. A little less than 6 minutes left in third quarter. It's been a counter-punching fight here all night between CSKA and Olympiacos. Now Olympiacos has got to do something to make up a 6-point difference. They get the ball to Spanoulis, guarded by Jackson. Ball swings to Papapetru, goes baseline, passes inside, another crowd of defenders, and another jump ball it will be. But no matter what Olympiacos does, if the ball goes inside, there seems to be 3 or 4 or 5, all 5 defenders.
But look at that right here. That's a penetration, and that's an incredibly tough pass to make because you're trying to thread the needle right there with the pass. And there's 4 defenders in red jerseys, and Otello Hunter is just immediately surrounded, and the pass was behind him, Frank.
Jump ball will be Hunter and Voroncevic. And it's won by CSKA. Jackson, the man on the spot, to pick up that jump ball. So CSKA with a chance to go for his biggest lead of this game right on this possession. De Colo working on Papapetru. Swings the ball to Weems. He goes cross-court to Jackson. He'll take a three-pointer off the front of the rim and into the hands of Papapetru.
Good shot there by Jackson. He's been very active in the game, so he took a shot.
Spanoulis, the parenthesis, fakes it, goes to the corner to Oliver Lafayette. Steps in to get a shorter shot, but doesn't go down. And a rebound to CSKA.
Nothing. CSKA just clears the boards. There was nothing to go there this time offensively.
Great defense. Great defense by CSKA. Not even with what looks like a clear shot is quickly covered. Jackson driving the lane, tries for another layup, misses it, and the ball knocked out of bounds by Sasha Khan. It'll be Olympiacos getting another chance to cut this difference. We see Milos Teodosic come back in the game now to replace Aaron Jackson for CSKA. CSKA Moscow president Andre Batutin taking in the game from courtside. Otello Hunter tries to get a pass off, and Counts bothers him. Just wants to get the ball to one of the guards. Finally does to Slukas, but with 6 seconds left, Sluka to Papapetru for three, off the mark, and again an offensive rebound goes to Yorgos Printasis and Olympiacos. Slukas with a mismatch, stops and pops over Sasha Khan. This time the rebound goes to Sonny Weems.
There's nothing for Olympiacos. Every situation one-on-one is well covered by
Sasha
CSKA.
Khan on the dunk, but he's fouled before he can try that by Papapetru. Sasha Khan having a big role here in the third quarter, just controlling things in the paint.
I'll tell you what, we spoke about defense of Olympiacos, but CSKA Moscow is just putting the clamps down defensively. They are just impressive.
4 points in more than 6 minutes is all they've allowed to Olympiacos. Teodosic out top takes the handoff from Hines, who's in the game. Step back jumper by Teodosic. Misses. Hines on a rebound. Offensive rebound by him. He gets fouled on the catch on the floor.
So Johnson.
So 10 offensive rebounds by Olympiacos so far. 6 by CSKA, but a couple in the last 2 minutes. And the overall rebound difference is 21-23, so neither team really winning in that category right now.
There was number 4 for Dunstan. So that's what Agravanis is coming to the game.
Agravanis replaces Dunstan, and the ball goes inside to an open Nando de Colo. Great pass by Teodosic for the biggest lead in this ball game so far. CSKA up 8 with 3:30 to play in the third quarter. And hot water as Slukas goes to the rim, puts it down and gets fouled. Driving on Vorontsevich.
What a tough drive there by Slukas.
Slukas, the answer man, right when Olympiacos needed it.
They needed a basket, right? Look at that. I mean, he goes by Teodosic, who didn't have a chance to hold him in a one-on-one situation, just lays it in over the defender, is fouled. So he's gonna have a chance for a three-point play.
You can't forget, as the graphic tells you, this guy is a 2-time EuroLeague winner. He knows what it takes. He's been in these situations before and much worse against the same team, CSKA.
He's got a lot of experience. He's been just coming off the bench his whole career.
De Colo loses his footing, gets it to Weems for the reverse. Unbelievable presence of mind by Nando de Colo.
What a play by De Colo, just on the ground, but he was still able to complete the play. He's limping there. I don't know what happened. I mean, he bruised his knee.
De Colo coming up a little slow. Ball swings to Printasis in the corner. Knocks down a three-pointer. We have a 4-point ball game again. As Utudis explains to the bench players what went wrong.
I thought that CSKA was trying to foul Olympiacos to get a substitution for De Colo because they doubled there on the half court.
Ball swings to Teodosic. He makes a move and gets fouled by Kostas Slukas.
He kind of tweaked his knee, I thought.
But what a play, what presence of mind by both Weems to make the cut and De Colo to keep the dribble and make the pass for an easy basket. We've seen easy baskets. That one was a little tougher, but turned into a layup for Sonny Weems. De Colo shaking off his injury, takes the shot out of the break. but it's rebounded by Printesis. Slukas goes inside to Agravanis for an easy basket. Another young man adding.
I don't know, Frank, because you said easy basket over Kyle Hines. I don't know about any easy baskets over Kyle Hines.
Well, a fast shot that Hines looked like he was surprised to see the young Dimitris Agravanis take it. 2-point ball game, 2 minutes left in the third quarter. Sonny Weems working on Papapetrou, stop and pop by Weems. Off the mark, rebound loose. Who will get a hold of it? Kyle Hines. De Colo inside to Vorontsevich, outside to Weems. He takes it again. This is off the mark, and this time Agravanis comes up with the rebound.
Do you see the intensity, Frank? I mean, it's a dogfight out there right now. Both teams are just playing at 100%.
Spanoulis to Agravanis to Kostas Slukas to Papapetrou. Steps inside the three-point line, takes a jumper, and Kostas Slukas chases down the offensive rebound, making number 11 for Olympiacos. Spanoulis, three-pointer, off the mark, rebound loose and into the hands of Sonny Weems.
Nothing going right there for Vassilis Spanoulis from the floor. He just cannot hit a shot.
He's got time, George. He's got time. Don't worry.
1 quarter is enough for him to take over the game and decide it. I agree with you, Frank. I've seen it many times.
Last minute, third quarter, De Colo drives to the basket. Shot doesn't go down. Rebound tipped out and goes out of bounds off the hands of Kyle Hines. So here we are once again with Olympiacos chance to tie or take the lead after they had been down this time by 8. They've been down by 8, been down by 7, been down by 6, and each time came back.
Unbelievable, from 47 to 39. I mean, we were saying that CSKA was completely in control, had all the momentum on their side, but Olympiacos just finds a way, couple of baskets, and they are just back into the game.
The patience that they've shown as their coach asked for.
But the intensity too, Frank. I mean, they playing at 100%, as I said before.
Spanoulis inside to Agravanis. He's all over that ball. Finally goes out of bounds on Aaron Jackson, and he'll try again. But here's another guy that we didn't mention before.
Look at the pass
game.
right here. That's a great pass right here by Spanoulis. I thought if Agravanis came down with the ball and took his time, that would have been an easy basket. He just tried to rush it a little bit from midair. He caught it and went up immediately in one motion.
In any case, it'll be Olympiacos ball. 35 seconds left, 12 on the shot clock only. They lob it in to Printesis, the one-hander off the mark, but the rebound goes to him. Offensive rebounding has been the difference.
Number 15, Frank. That is a high number there for Olympiacos.
Free throws for CSKA, offensive rebounds for Olympiacos. Look at Jackson in the passing lane, takes it away for CSKA with his 4th steal of the game, Aaron Jackson. 8 seconds left in the third quarter. Teodosic out top, gets a screen from Hines, drives, and goes high off the backboard with a layup for Milos Teodosic with his first basket of the game to let CSKA Moscow hold on to a 51-47 lead after 3 quarters on the great steal by Aaron Jackson to guard the difference, and Milos Teodosic with a right-handed layup to keep CSKA in front. Making 6 steals by Jackson, not 4. Unbelievable effort he's made so far to keep CSKA Moscow ahead.
Turkish Airlines, Spalding, Intersport, Turkey Home. Official global sponsors of the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague.
We will come back for 4th quarter action. First semifinal at the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague Final 4 coming up later tonight. We have Real Madrid versus Fenerbahce Istanbul. But right now, as we look at the physical play that we've seen in this game, bodies hitting the floor, couple jump balls, lots of offensive rebounds. You see some of the reasons here.
That's almost funny to me because I think you can just replay the whole game if you talk about the physical play, because I thought from the second one when the ball went up in the first tip-off, I mean, it's been all physical on both sides. Both teams are just playing at 100% with the physicality. There's no question.
That is the hallmark of Olympiacos, but CSKA's sticking right with him. Not only sticking right with him, but leading this game by 4 points going into the last 10 minutes. As action resumes, with CSKA getting possession, Jackson with the ball to Hines, who hands off to Teodosic, takes a three-pointer in and out, but he will go to the free throw line.
Is that going to be for 3 free throws?
Absolutely.
Yep, he took a three-pointer, so it's going to be 3 free throws there for Milos Teodosic.
And Spanoulis got there late and got Teodosic in the body as he went up to take that shot. Very close to a 4-point play because the ball went in and out.
This is a great free throw shooter that you got on the line right now for CSKA Moscow. So a great chance for them to build up on this 4-point lead they had going into the fourth quarter.
And Teodosic makes the first and second of those free throws, has the lead back up to 6. And you have to say that steal at the end of the third quarter really was a momentum changer in a game with not a lot of big swings. So the 3 free throws now suddenly has it back to 7 when Olympiacos was looking to take the lead on the last shot just 20 seconds ago in this game until Jackson stole it. Olympiacos gets the ball to Agravanis, drives, blocked by Sonny Weems, picked up by Nando de Colo on the break, can't finish, and the ball rebounded by Olympiacos. Matt Lejeski from deep, in and out. Agravanis rebounds and saves it to Petway. Lejeski wants to take another three-pointer, but they will pull the ball out. 9 on the shot clock, 7 blocks now by CSKA Moscow. And the drive by Spanoulis, he gets fouled by Teodosic. And here you see Weems coming. I'm sorry.
It was Hines who somehow recovered from there. It was on the weak side was Weems, but at the end it was Karl Hines. I thought it was Weems.
It was Demetrius Nichols.
Yep.
It was Demetrius Nichols in the game. And a costly turnover by Olympiacos. Again, harassed by that CSKA defense.
That is not good for Olympiacos. They're down 7, just opened up the fourth quarter with lackadaisical play on first couple of possessions. And CSKA is just very dominant defensively right now. And I think that just the energy is feeding on itself.
Vassilis Spanoulis takes a seat and is replaced by Evangelis Mansares. Kyle Hines to Teodosic. Ball goes to Demetrius Nichols. Brings it back out to Teodosic. Guarded by Petway, steps in for three-pointer. Petway bothers it. Time running out on the shot clock.
It's 0.3 seconds. I think, if I'm not mistaken, they can only tip the ball now, right?
As far as I know, just a tip-in will be acceptable with 0.3 of a second on the shot clock as the ball went out of bounds. And CSKA has Teodosic inbounding from the sidelines. The lob goes in, and Teodosic puts the shot in.
That's the range.
Does not count, of course.
How about that,
it's
Frank?
illegal.
That's his range right there. He steps into the gym and he just makes it. What about that?
Well, he had some trouble shooting earlier. Maybe he should take it off court, but of course a shot from the sideline does not count. And it'll be Olympiacos ball. They get inside to Lejeski on the backdoor move. Easy 2 points and a rare easy 2 points.
Exactly, Frank. I just was going to say that. A good cut there by Matt Lejeski and a timely pass.
Matt Lejeski on the scoreboard, and remember he averaged 14 against CSKA during the season in those 2 games. De Colo to the rim, Hines with the rebound. Gets it to Teodosic, and he knocks down a three-pointer.
That is a huge shot right there for CSKA.
That matches the biggest lead in the game from the third quarter. Olympiacos will have to keep coming back if they're going to catch CSKA down 8, 7:50 to play. Mansares to Lejeski. Ball swings to Petway from the corner. His three-pointer, he gets fouled by Demetrius Nichols. Let's see if his foot was on the line or not, but he will go to the free throw line.
That's the replay of the inbound play right there by Teodosic. Yes, that was a swish, Frank.
Nothing but net,
Wow.
but none of it counted. And we're trying to figure out if it will be 3 free throws or 2 for Brent Petway, as he was fouled by Dimitris Nichols, who takes a seat on the CSKA bench, is replaced by Victor Kriapa. First free throw does not go down for Brent Petway.
It's going to be 3 free throws. No rebound after this shot. That's what the referees are signaling with their hands up. So it was a foul when the shot was a 3-point shot.
Petway gets the second one to go down. An 80% free throw shooter. So disappointing to see for Olympiacos fans to see him miss the first one. But he gets the next 2, lowers the difference again to 6 points. Sasha Count in the game, replacing Kyle Hines for CSKA. Kriapa also came in the game, replacing Nichols. He has the ball, goes right inside to Hines. Dunston back in the game. Kick out to Teodosic. His pass is blocked. The ball is loose. There's still 3 on the shot clock. De Colo from way downtown. Looks like he missed everything, and the shot clock has finished. So some good defense at the right time by Olympiacos.
And now you got Brian Dunston there on the floor. He's got to be very careful. You saw him that on the block against Teodosic because he's got 4 personal fouls.
Well, he's got to give it all at this point because Olympiacos needs him. They need to come back. Lejeski with the ball. Dribbles into a mismatch, crosses the court to Petway. Lob inside, intercepted by Aaron Jackson.
That had no chance of getting to Dunston. That was a mismatch.
7 steals by Jackson. He goes inside, doesn't get the layup, and the rebound was in the hands of Sasha Khan. He got knocked out of bounds, and a foul is called. Looks like on Brent Petway.
That's a great pass by Kriapa. And big free throws there here now for Sasha Khan. He's been very effective from the line. 5 for 6, 83% for the night.
Not going back to the line this time because it's
Before.
not in a penalty yet. Not in a bonus. Goes to Slukas in the game. The inbounds pass to Count, tipped out of bounds by Dunston. Stays CSKA ball. Prentices in the game and Slukas for Olympiacos. Teodosic with the ball. Tries to go around Dunston. Almost loses the handle. Vassilis guarding him. Stops and pops at the free throw line. Off the mark. And a rebound into the hands of Dunston. Slukas ahead to Vassilis. Pass tipped out of bounds by Teodosic. Good defense by him, but what can you say about 7 steals from Aaron Jackson?
Oh, impressive. I mean, he's left his mark, and now we see Vassilis Spanoulis getting off the bench. You see him right there. I was wondering how long it was going to take for him to get back into the game. So we got 6 minutes and 31 seconds to go in the game, and Vassilis Spanoulis checks back into the game.
Olympiacos down 6. Spanoulis fakes, goes to the basket, and his shot doesn't go. It's slapped off the rim by Kriapa. So almost gets 1 to go down. Vassilis Spanoulis 0 for 11 from the field tonight. Not, of course, his usual heroics as Jackson gets fouled on the way to the basket.
And I thought that last shot, look at that one more time right here. He gets past the defender. It's almost a clear path to the basket. Just could not connect with his left hand lane. One more time. He passed Weems, and the ball just rolls on the rim, and there's Kriapa right there. He just takes it off the rim. You can do that.
Weems has the ball now for CSKA after the 4th foul by Papapetro. Kriapa looking inside, gets it to Count, reverse and down for Sasha Count, back to an 8-point lead.
That's
under
why,
6 minutes of play.
That's why he's the most effective shooter in EuroLeague history. Sasha Count just connecting on 70% of his shots from the 2.
Prentices spins in the lane, puts the shot down, but he was fouled before the shot, the referee is saying.
Ilya Bilosevic just makes the call. He's right there. And he's going to be out of bounds for Olympiacos. What a great move. Look at the quickness of Printesis. Just unbelievable.
Foul on that play by Kriapa. Spanoulis gets the ball on the inbounds. Cross to Printesis. Hands off to Vassilis. He gets fouled by Teodosic. You know that CSKA with this 8-point lead and time running out, 5:30 to play.
They're going to start managing the clock.
They're going to make CSKA or Olympiacos work incredibly hard for any chance to score. But give CSKA Moscow credit. They came in here with the best offense in the decade in the EuroLeague. But as they did in the series, the playoff series against Panathinaikos, they're doing it with defense tonight. 51 points for Olympiacos is way off their average. Printesis is open for three, doesn't get it to go down.
Absolutely agree with you, Frank. It's been all defense for CSKA. They took the challenge. Everybody spoke about Olympiacos' defense, but CSKA just met the challenge. Or they even raised the bar, if you ask me.
Jackson to Weems. Guarded by Spanoulis, gets it back to Jackson. He has to take a desperation shot. And Dunston comes up with that. Time is running out of the shot clock. Still just 8 points to make up for Olympiacos, and they've done that and more in the past. It's been Printesis inside to Dunston. Count thought he got the block, but there was a push called even before the block.
Yeah, it was a
place.
contact with the body because it was clean on the ball, but Sasha just, Dunston draws the contact. That's it. The foul is right there with the body.
And that'll put Dunston on the free throw line after we come back from a break on the floor. Not to the liking of Dimitris Atoudas, the CSKA Moscow head coach. But the whistle did sound before the block, that much I will say. See if we can listen in to the timeouts.
It's a long way to go. When we have to play good defense, don't let them score easy points. Now last three defenses are very good and throw the ball. We get the rebound, rush, outlet rush. Don't rush, don't rush. Pass, pass, pass. Strong, strong. Easy, easy, we can't play. We can't play. The most important thing is to be tough on defense. Tough on defense.
Here we see some more of that CSKA defense. The block from the first half by Kriapa. And of course, the block in this half by Dimitris Nichols. Seems like he came on the floor just to get that block. Then took a seat later, but that shows you how everybody who's coming off the CSKA bench all game long has been focused on defense.
But look at that stats right there. 2.4 blocks per game as a team. CSKA today 7. I mean, that's a statement defensive. Listening to Coach Ferropoulos, I think it's clear that what he's hoping for is for some easy basket. He said, play some good defense, get out there and run, make an outlet pass, and try to score some easy baskets.
Not has been the case throughout this game for Olympiacos due to the CSKA Moscow defense. And Dunston
Not a great
misses
free
the
throw
first
shooter.
free throw, which is not exactly what Olympiacos needs at this point. As George said, just 61% free throw shooter. He can get one to go. His team will be happy, and he does just that. Knocks the difference down to 7. Plenty of time left. Also what the Olympiacos coach said to his team, it's a long time to go in this game.
Absolutely. 4 minutes and 44 seconds.
Jackson gets the ball up court into the hands of Colo. Goes to Weems, driving baseline. Cross court to Kriapa inside the count. And he goes over the shot block of Petway to put the ball in.
And look at the patience of Sasha Cowan. I mean, he takes a beating there, getting a position to receive the ball, but just so patient with shooting the ball. That's an offensive foul right there.
Offensive foul on Brent Petway as he turns into his defender and gets called for the elbow. There you see it right there into the face of Victor Kriapa. Get this, George, coming into this game, Sasha Count's taken 600 shots in the EuroLeague, 2-pointers. Never took a 3-pointer in his career. Has made 420 of them.
I know.
Unbelievable. Just get the ball in his hands. De Colo, chance to work on this 9-point lead, make it double digits. Gets it to Jackson, drives inside, misses the shot, and Spanoulis comes up with the rebound. Fouled in transition by Nando De Colo.
That's a tactical foul right here to stop the fast break. De Colo on Spanoulis. He's not happy about the call, but I thought he was looking for the foul.
From one angle, it looked like he was looking for the foul, but obviously he wasn't, because
they put him
that
on the free
puts
throw line.
Spanoulis on the free throw line and stops the clock with 4:44 left. Maybe not looking at the clock so much right now, but certainly the free throws, which has been, Olympiacos had barely any free throws in the first half. Now they're coming back closer to CSKA. It's a 12-14 from the free throw line. Very good numbers for Olympiacos. They're only 2 for 2 at the line in the first half. De Colo turns on the free throw line and puts it down to get those 2 points back. So he restored them to the column. Spanoulis from deep, he knocks it down. Vassilis Spanoulis gets
They needed that right there.
his first shot after 11 misses to cut the difference to 6.
That's a great competitor. He just keeps shooting, Frank.
And the clock on your screen is wrong. We're down to 3:15 left in this game. Steal by Spanoulis. He gets fouled by Nando De Colo this time. He'll go back to the free throw line, and Olympiacos with a chance to cut it to 4.
I don't know. This is a bit of a mental lapse right here by Nando De Colo, because he knows that Olympiacos is in bonus. He has to know that from the last situation that he made a foul. And he again sends Spanoulis on the free throw line, who's a great free throw shooter.
And you see Dimitris Atoudas explaining the same thing to De Colo. But I thought he explained that to him the last time, a minute ago. Spanoulis, great free throw shooter, knocks down the first one. He's 89%, one of the top guys in the EuroLeague this season from the free throw line. Number 6 of all players, the last guy you want to foul if you're going to commit a foul. And sure enough, he knocks down the other free throw. We got a 4-board ball game with 3:12 to play, George.
Never say die, Frank, if you speak about Olympiacos.
6-point difference in the first quarter. They erased that. 7-point difference in the second quarter. They erased that. 8-point difference in the third quarter. They erased that. And CSKA had its highest lead, 9 points in the fourth quarter. Who's to say? But Olympiacos has done it before. And here's the flashback to what happened to CSKA Moscow in the semifinal last year, where they had the game and the possession in their hands and gave up that miscue as Kriapa lost the ball. Tyrese Rice scored for Maccabi, and the three-pointer that could have won it by Weems missed. That was at the end of last year's semifinal. As you see, CSKA succumbed to the last-minute pressure last year at this time. And as you see there, President Andre Batutin
Not easy
sweating it
moments for
out.
him, yep.
He knows as well as anybody that Olympiacos never says die, and they're not saying die with 3:12 to play. At 4:44 left in this game, George.
Yep.
It was a 9-point difference. We're down to 4 in a matter of a minute and less than 30 seconds. Whole new ball game in the first semifinal of the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague Final Four. The Olympiacos fans are feeling it. Aaron Jackson back on the floor. Nando De Colo inbounds the Kriapa. He gives it up to Jackson. And CSKA trying to cling to the 4-point lead. The shot clock did not move off 24 seconds, so the referee said, let's stop this and get the time right.
Are you right about the Olympiacos fans? They just immediately stood up and they feel a good chance for their team.
They will become a factor, you'd have to think, if in fact Olympiacos can trim this difference anymore. Key possession here coming out of the timeout by CSKA, because obviously they can silence those fans with a shot right now. The tension mounts as the referees.
And this is what I love about EuroLeague. They just, if there's a doubt, they just immediately go to instant replay. They're just gonna look at it. We have so many cameras here, Frank. They're just gonna exactly say how much the clock should be reset to. I love that. No doubt.
Referee explaining to everybody exactly what they plan to do. Right now, it says 3:08 on the shot clock, and on the game clock and the shot clock, they're going to start it over again. 3:12. They're going to just go back to where they started.
That's the best.
Give the whole 24 back to CSKA rather than punish them with a few seconds off it.
Almost.
Steal attempt by Spanoulis, but he slaps the ball out of bounds. If Lucas had turned, he might have got it. It would be inbounds from Kriapa to De Colo, guarded by Slukas. Ball in the corner and back to De Colo. Swings to Kriapa inside to Sasha Khan, working on print assist. Ball tipped away by Vangelis Mansatis, out of the hands of Khan and out of bounds. 3 seconds left on the shot clock. So
Olympiacos defense is picking it up. I mean, just the way I saw the Olympiacos defenders playing full court press on the ball, I think they're smelling the blood. They really feel their chance.
Teodosic comes back in the ball game. Of course, he's a specialist hitting quick shots and making quick passes. De Colo to Teodosic from the corner. Can't get it to go. Princesses with the rebound. Ahead to Slukas for a layup. We have a 2-point ball game with 2:43 to play.
This is just incredible. Look at the momentum. It is swinging from one side to another in a matter of few possessions, Frank.
Let's remind everybody, this Olympiacos team has come back from bigger deficits in bigger games. The shot by Teodosic off the back of the rim, rebound loose. Khan gets it.
That's a huge rebound there by Sasha Khan.
To De Colo. De Colo goes inside to Kriapa. Ball's bouncing around. Saved by Mansatis off the knee of Teodosic. And Olympiacos with 2:10 to play and a chance to tie or go ahead.
What a swing in momentum. I'm almost speechless. I mean, Olympiacos just came from nowhere. They were just almost on the ropes. But the three-pointer, Frank, by Spanoulis, they just got him going.
Let's remind people, 19 points down with 11 minutes to play in the 2012 final. 17 points down in the 2013 final, and they won. Princesses has it. To Spanoulis, and Olympiacos goes ahead, 63-64. Timeout on the floor. Spanoulis was gone for all this game, but he is back in it at the moment of truth.
Frank, I mean, you are so right. You said, George, 0 for 11. Don't count him out. Look at that right here. A key shot by Vassilis Spanoulis. Again, he does it.
2 3-pointers by Spanoulis. And Olympiacos leads this ball game 63-64 with 1:58 to play and timeout on the floor. And now, George, let me ask you, does the psychology, the history that many of these teams, that many of these players on both sides, one side Olympiacos winning from behind against CSKA, and now CSKA losing while ahead to Olympiacos, does that become a factor right now?
It does, Frank. It really does, because I think now CSKA players who've been on the team for many years, they are starting. I mean, the tough losses that they have experienced in the last 2-3 seasons, they are creeping back into their mind. They have to. There is no other way.
The one thing you got to say for CSKA is with 2 minutes of play, they've never been behind by more than one after the first 2 minutes of this ball game. So they have everything in them, as they've done throughout the ball game, to take this lead back. They have possession.
This is the key possession of the game, Frank. If it was me, I would go to Nando de Colo. He's a newcomer to the team. He can take it on himself, and he has not experienced the two tough losses that they had in the last 2 seasons.
Andrei Vorontsevich back in the game, replacing Kirilenko. ball is inbounded to Colo. Drives on Petway, goes behind his back, step back jumper off the front of the rim. And knocked out of bounds by Vassilis.
Not a bad play there for CSKA. It was a good shot for Colo. He got off away from his defender, and he usually makes this shot. It was a step back shot. He just missed it.
And Olympiacos up 1 after being down 9 in this quarter. 1:49 to play, and if you're an Olympiacos fan, George, you've got to have as much trust as any fan can have in those two guys, Yorgos Printasis and Vassilis Spanoulis. But remember, Vassilis is the all-time leader in EuroLeague in assist-to turnover ratio. He doesn't commit turnovers. So 3 guys out there who are safe with the ball. It's Spanoulis with 10 on the shot clock, working on Vassilis. Stop. Pops. Makes it. Vassilis Spanoulis has Olympiacos up by 3, shooting a rainbow.
That
over
was a rainbow,
Vassilis.
Frank. He dropped it. How did he do that? Over Vassilis.
Who is going to step up for CSKA? We know who's going to do it for Olympiacos. Kyle Hines goes to the rim, met by Petway, but will go to the free throw line to try to get his point.
Look at that one more time. This was the toughest shot. What a great job by Vassilis to stay with Spanoulis. But the arc on that shot was unbelievable.
A rainbow
Yeah, but
for Spanoulis.
right, but it was a rainbow for like 5 meters. Come on. You usually make the rainbow.
8 of his 10 points in the fourth quarter for Spanoulis. Kyle Hines going to the free throw line and hitting his first free throw to get his first point of the game for CSKA. Cuts the difference to 2. Second free throw off the mark, rebounded by Petway.
That was a big rebound there by Petway. He just went up and grabbed one.
1:12 to play. Olympiacos with the ball, ahead 64-66. In a series of comebacks, they go cross court to Printasis. 3-pointer in and out into the hands of Kyle Hines.
Ooh, that would have just brought the house down if Printasis made that 3-pointer.
Sonny Weems working on Petway, takes him to the hole, off the mark, rebound all the way out to half court, controlled by Vassilis. Kriapa hands off to Weems. And we will see what the referees are looking at. If it was an offensive rebound, it should have only been 14 on the shot clock. And of course, CSKA moved the ball around a lot before we see now 13 on the shot clock. They're going to have to correct this. Once again, the new rule starting this season was that on an offensive rebound,
You've got only 40 seconds to shoot.
the offensive team only has 14 more seconds to shoot instead of the normal 24. Well, let's see if they dial it back and give it to CSKA as they did the last time there was a misfunction of the shot clock. They will let the teams talk with each other while they sort this out, George.
I think Olympiacos just gotta be tough mentally because for them, it would have been better to keep the clock running. What a game, Frank. What an incredible game today.
Unbelievable situation here, but you say unbelievable, but that's exactly what Olympiacos has brought you to.
That's it right here. This is what you talked about. The reset was down to 24 seconds, and it was a complete malfunction. I don't think it was a score stable. It was a malfunction of the clock.
As you see, it goes to from 24 all the way to 13. They're going to sort this out and figure the fairest way for both teams. There was no foul. There was no other reason to stop play. Or maybe, no, there was no foul called either. The head referee, Ilya Milosevic, noticed the discrepancy, and they're working to put it correctly. It looks like it will be 38 seconds left and 13 seconds on the shot clock for CSKA Moscow.
And CSKA is just still in the huddle. The players and the coach is just trying to think about this crucial possession. Now Coach Itoudis comes out, and he's going to speak also to referee Milosevic. about the situation. So they do gonna keep 13 seconds on the shot clock and 38 on the game clock. Plenty of time, Frank.
Well, it actually looked like the clock was reset maybe a split second too late. There was one pass and a little ball movement before the whistle sounded. And if it's 13, that CSKA gets a shoot, they would have had almost that much, according to how the play developed. Because as you saw, the shot clock went from 24 to 13. Didn't pass by 14, I don't believe. And here we take a look at a flashback again of what happened between these two teams in 2012. 10 seconds left. CSKA misses the free throw. Down one, Olympiacos, Spanoulis to Piraeus. And that made history, of course, as Olympiacos went on to win 2 in a row and beat CSKA, I should say, in the second one in the semifinal as well. But that was a bigger victory. Colo's going to take it in for CSKA, gets it to Jackson. Goes away from the screen, gets it to Sonny Weems. Weems inside.
What a
puts
great
it down.
move right there, Frank.
Great move by Weems to tie the ball game with 31 seconds left.
That wasn't an easy shot at all because Sonny Weems had to split the defense. He went down on 2 feet and just made a nice bank shot under control. Look at that right here. That's a great move by Sonny Weems. But we said it before. I mean, he's the best at one-on-one situations. So that's where you go. This is your bread and butter. Great call by Coach Ituris and great execution.
The last 2 times down the floor, they gave the ball to Weems to see if he could do exactly what he did on this play. 31.1 seconds left, 66 to 66 tie. Let's listen to Spanoulis.
Vassilis, Oliver, you go for bread.
They're going to bring another ball handler into the game, looks like. And of course, there's still 7 seconds more than 1 possession left on the game clock.
Exactly, Frank. This is the big factor. I think for Olympiacos, the best situation would be if there was less than 24 seconds left on the game clock. But still, CSKA, even if they run the clock down, they will still get a shot. This is a better situation now for CSKA Moscow.
Both teams are in a bonus, so any fouls will lead to free throws. Everybody holding their breath here at Barclaycard Center in Madrid, Spain. The drama has been served already at the Final Four. Tie ball game, 30 seconds left in the first semifinal. Olympiacos taking it out against CSKA Moscow. Kirilenko comes back on the floor. And as we saw, Oliver Lafayette in the game for Olympiacos.
This is what you expect. The ball is going to be in the hands of Vassilis Spanoulis.
Spanoulis against Nando de Colo in the corners. Lucas and Oliver Lafayette. Vangelis Matsades on the wing. 7 on the shot clock. Spanoulis from deep. He hits it. Vassilis Spanoulis does it again. 10 seconds left. Nando de Colo fouled by Spanoulis. They put him on the free throw line. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. What can you say about this player?
The toughest
11
player
points
in Europe.
in the fourth quarter after going 0 for 11 from the floor. The man of the moment, the man of all the moments.
I don't believe it. I'm speechless, Frank. You know, there are not too many occasions I'm speechless. But this is just taking my breath away.
George,
absolutely, Frank.
George, I talked to Vassilis Spanoulis 2 weeks ago about how he does this. And he says, I refuse to be stressed. I will maintain my calm because that's the only way I can be there for my team at the end of the game. And despite going 0 for 11.
0 for 11, Frank.
0
for 11.
Teodosic trying to get both De Colo.
This is a big rebound
great free throw shooter.
This is a huge
7.1 on the clock. He's made the first one. He can make all the free throws he wants, but let's see what the strategy is, whether he will miss the second.
No, I think they're still going to try to make it.
Nando de Colo with the second free throw, knocks it down. And we have a 1-point ball game with 7 seconds left to play. Possession coming to Olympiacos in the hands of Olympiacos. It's their ball game to win, George. 7.1, and you have the ball. But let's remember, Aaron Jackson's probably going to be on the floor. He's got 7 steals. I'm not sure if that's a semifinals record, but I think it has to be.
Yep.
If not a Final Four record. And
I mean, this is about inbounding the ball. I mean, if I'm with Olympiacos, I have Spanoulis or Slukas receiving the ball. I want those 2 guys on the free throw line because they're going to have to commit a foul.
Free throw shooters for Olympiacos. You don't.
In fact, they coming out of the
Slukas
huddle.
90%, Spanoulis 78%.
Manzares is going out of bounds. He's going to be the inbounder.
He's a 58% free throw shooter.
So it's going to Slukas or Spanoulis.
If they can get it to them, George. Remember.
Yep.
Ball to Slukas, fouled by Colo. 6.6 seconds left. Plenty of time left. Plenty of time left for CSKA, depending on what Slukas does. 89% free throw shooter. Puts up and makes the first one. Goes to Slukas.
That's 5 in a row. 5 free throws under pressure for Kostas Slukas.
6 for 6. After that one.
Oh, he misses.
Misses the second one. Kirilenko with the ball. Comes up court, gives it to Jackson. Jackson across half court. The long shot misses by Kirilenko. And once again, Olympiacos Piraeus, the nemesis of CSKA Moscow, has come back to win yet another Final Four game from behind. 9 points down in the fourth quarter, led by Vassilis Spanoulis all the way to the finish to win by 2 points, 68-70. Unbelievable how they keep doing it. It is.
You have to respect this group of guys. They just never give up under any circumstances. That's Olympiacos Piraeus for you. And I am looking forward so much for the interview that I'm sure we're gonna hear from Vassilis Spanoulis, because what they showed today is an extreme mental toughness. Starting 0 for 11. Just coming back 4 times, Frank, as a team. This was just unbelievable.
George, it never was luck with Olympiacos. It was always the way this team stays together and allows himself a chance with great defense this year to be led by Spanoulis. You know, they know he's going to show up, and after 3 quarters where he could not do anything, he showed up in the fourth quarter and put the spell on CSKA Moscow again. We are going to get a chance to hear from Vassilis Spanoulis. He's celebrating with his fans, but let's hear what he has to say.
Congratulations, Billy. We've seen you guys do this time and time again. You got off to a slow start. What was it that clicked for you?
Yeah, we didn't have patience at the beginning. We were a little bit nervous. In the half, we concentrated. We said that we have to play basketball. And for one more time, we show our character and our heart.
I know you pretty well. And I saw you frustrated at times on the court. Were there times where you thought you weren't going to be able to do it? Did that ever get into your mind?
No, just CSKA play very hard defense on me. They try to put me out of the game with strong game, physical game. But I have to stay there to be physical, to be strong. And in the end, I know that if I'll be myself, we can do it again.
Congratulations. We really enjoyed watching you play.
And there you heard from Vassilis Spanoulis. We're going to hear now from the head coach of Olympiacos, Giannis Piraeus, winning his first game at the Final Four as a head coach. As we see the replays of Spanoulis and the victory.
Coach, incredible game. You guys came from behind. What was it? What were the key factors?
I think the fact that we never give up, this is the most important. The mentality of the players, the personality of the players. We have players that they never give up, no matter with which opponent they have against them. And this is the biggest weapon of this team.
Would you say your game plan was perfectly executed? You held this team, the CSKA team, to 68 points. They lead the EuroLeague in scoring. Was your game plan on the defensive end perfectly executed?
Of course. We said from the beginning that our defense is a big weapon, and we need to keep all the teams we play in low score. And with these lows, when we don't let them score easy points, we have big chances to win the games. And at the end, we saw character the last 5 minutes, and I think the result is very, let's say, shows what we can do, and I think we deserve this win.
I think you guys gave a tremendous effort for 40 minutes. You guys have anything left for the final?
Of course, we need one more game, and we are very happy that we will play the final, but we need to play a good one more game.
Very good. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Turkish Airlines. 7 days. Bwin. And Siesta. Official global sponsors in association with the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague.